The commissioner released her final report on foreign interference in this country. She says there is no evidence of so-called traitors conspiring with foreign states, but it's a threat and we must be vigilant. She also says that after her thorough investigation, she underscores foreign actors trying to interfere is not new, but she says what is new is the means being deployed by these states and the extent to which the phenomena is taking hold and the public discussions about interference. She says interference at this stage remains largely ineffective and hasn't shifted outcomes. And we saw that in her initial report as well last year. Now, the government's response, she says, has been lacking, calling the Liberal government a poor communicator and insufficiently transparent. She also talks about disinformation in her remarks. She said, in my view, it's no exaggeration to say that at this juncture, information manipulation, whether foreign or not, poses the single biggest risk to our democracy. It is an existential threat. And finally, she had 51 recommendations, including improving how intelligence is shared and updating the Canada Elections Act.
There is an interesting section in the report where it talks about whether the media ecosystem can cleanse itself. The idea being that if there's something false out there and if the media report that it's false, then sort of people's opinions of that are corrected and that social media then does no harm. There's a section in the report that talks about that working less well in 2021. Her saying that she's no longer as convinced that the media ecosystem is strong enough, that disinformation travels so far and so fast before everyone else can catch up to it. And if the platforms themselves are not going to be accountable, and this is where the conversation is kind of globally right now, if the platforms are not going to be accountable for false information, the risk of manipulating people who no longer maybe read conventional newspapers or watch conventional news broadcasts from reputable purveyors of information, you are in a real risk of sort of no longer having an informed voter, a voter that sort of can be armed with actual facts when they make their choices.